discuss this question I asked you to try yesterday. Okay. I'll discuss this, then I'll give you a simpler question to attempt as well. But see, what is the idea behind this question? Just to recap, we said yesterday when light passes from one medium to another, the transmitted wave suffers no phase change. Okay, no problem. When light goes from a denser to a rarer medium and it gets reflected, when light, sorry, एक minute. Deven, I didn't get that. So just can you type that again? Yeah, when light from a denser medium reflects off a rarer medium. Yes, speed changes. Bilkul, bilkul, हाँ. Speed definitely changes when the medium changes. No, speed changes. वो refractive index बताता है कितना fraction से speed कम होता है. So if refractive index is 3, speed becomes 1/3. That's the definition of refractive index. So speed does change. Lambda changes. Frequency doesn't change. Okay, all those we discussed on, I think, page 2, I believe. But this is a different aspect. Here we're talking about phase. So phase change नहीं होता है for the transmitted wave. ठीक है? Reflected wave के लिए भी phase change नहीं होगा if light is going from denser to rarer. So if light from a denser medium reflects off a rarer medium, तभी भी phase change नहीं होगा, because in that case it's going to be like a heavy string to a light string. ठीक है? So जैसा, हाँ, I'm explaining it once more. जैसा heavy string से light string जब wave जाता है ना, heavy string से light string हमने यहाँ पे किया था. I'll show you that once more. ये दो example हमने लिया था. ये देखो, this is heavy to light. Heavy to light, according to our formula, when we solved this question, you got AR as something positive. That means the reflected wave was also upright and the transmitted wave was also upright. So heavy to light. Okay, in the heavier string it's slower. So similarly for light कहाँ पे slower होता है? Light का wave denser medium में slower होता है. So when you go from the denser medium to a rarer medium, you expect to see no inversion in the reflected wave and in the transmitted wave. Denser to rarer में no inversion. The rarer medium is like a free end. Rarer medium, ऐसा सोचो, rarer medium is like a light string and light string is like a free end. Okay, and yes, whether it gets the phase change, like when we derived this result, just to give you a recap, when we derived this result, we derived in such a way that the phase change will be reflected in the value of AR and AT. Okay, and I make a point of that on page 49. When AR is negative, that is actually implying an inversion. Okay, and when AR is positive, that is implying no inversion. So AR positive होता है in this case. जब heavier से light string में जाता है ना, automatically AR positive होता है. Heavier से light में reflected wave upright रहेगा. Heavier से light जाते वक्त, denser से rarer जाते वक्त, जो wave reflect होगा, that will undergo no inversion. Okay, that will undergo no inversion. That was the second paragraph. When light goes from a denser medium to a rarer medium, it undergoes no inversion, no sudden phase change. However, when light from a rarer medium reflects off a denser medium, when light from a rarer medium reflects off a denser medium, it undergoes a sudden phase change. Why? Because what is that similar to? देखो, rarer to denser. Rarer को light string की तरह visualize करो, denser को heavy string. Light string में anyways wave faster होता था, heavy में slower होता था, वैसे ही फंडा है ना. So rarer to denser को light string to heavy string visualize करो, and heavy string मान लो है ना भारी है, तो this behaves like a fixed end, and therefore this wave gets reflected when it bounces off the heavier string. How do we know that? Look at AR का value. AR is bar negative आ रहा है. So our reflected wave is actually clearly inverted in comparison to the incident wave. it undergoes a sudden phase change. Similarly, when light goes from a rarer to a denser medium, it undergoes a sudden phase change. When light goes from a rarer to a denser medium and it's reflecting off the denser medium, it undergoes a sudden phase change of pi. Okay, why do I say a sudden phase change of pi? तो यहाँ पे ये diagram देख लो, है ना? So light suddenly positive से negative हो जाता है. उसका जो इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड है सडनली पॉजिटिव से नेगेटिव हो रहा है या नेगेटिव से पॉजिटिव हो रहा है, सडनली इन्वर्ट हो रहा है. सो इट्स सडनली गेटिंग इन्वर्टेड व्हेन इट रिफ्लेक्ट्स ऑफ अ डेंसर मीडियम. इट्स सडनली गेटिंग इन्वर्टेड without traveling any extra distance. So it's as if at that point, magically, the phase at that point suddenly changed by pi. It suddenly either went ahead by pi or it went behind by pi. Because when you move from a crest in either direction by pi, you land on a trough, right? Because you're moving only half a wavelength ahead. So another way of looking at it is you happen to move lambda by 2 distance ahead. You're at that point, you're not actually moving anywhere, but its effect is, yes, its effect is wo plus sign se minus sign ho raha hai. Plus sin phi से minus sin pi हो रहा है. So it's as good as saying कि वो phase या path suddenly lambda by 2 से बढ़ गया, path का length. It's as good as वो suddenly इस point से ये point पे चला गया. That is what the sudden reflection is causing. Is causing an immediate inversion, which can be imagined as though due to the reflection the wave has traveled lambda by 2 distance ahead or behind. It makes no difference. Because when you travel lambda by 2 distance ahead or behind from a crest, you'll go and land in a trough. So that is what the reflection is doing to the wave. Okay, that is what the reflection is doing to the wave. So I'll discuss this question and then I'll give you an easier question to do. But like in this question, I'd ask you to just think about it at home. Was anyone able to solve this and get the answer as, I believe, destructive interference? Did anyone understand the three paragraphs I've written and then uske हिसाब से answer निकाल दिया as destructive interference? If you didn't, it's fine. देखो ध्यान से अब सुन लो. यहाँ से यहाँ अब मुझे ये दो waves के बीच में, ये दो light rays के बीच में मुझे phase difference निकालना है. तो पहले तो if I just zoom in on this diagram, first and foremost, इसमें I am not able to exactly calculate the path length of the first wave because I have not been given these distances. And that is fine. Sometimes you'll not be given the distances to calculate the exact path length for a single wave. Because ultimately you don't need the exact path length for a single wave. What you really need is the difference in path lengths. So like in this case, or be cases may they may not give you the exact length, but you'll be able to find the distance. So what I'm going to do, although I don't know the exact length of what I've highlighted, if I compare it with this, I can see कि ये जो green line वाला part है, that is common to the second wave as well. So ये जो दो lengths हैं, एक आगे जाने वाला length, वो दोनों वेव के लिए कॉमन है, और एक वैक्यूम में लौटने वाला लेंथ वो भी दोनों के लिए कॉमन है. तो डिफरेंस निकालते वक्त वो दोनों कट जाएगा. सो आई एम गोइंग टू इग्नोर दोस पार्ट्स. डिफरेंस निकालते वक्त ये दोनों कट जाएगा. सो आई एम गोइंग टू इग्नोर इग्नोर द लेंथ्स ऑफ दीज लाइंस दैट आई हैव हाइलाइटेड. जो एयर में है वो जो लेंथ्स है दोनों के लिए सेम है, तो वो मैं इग्नोर कर रहा हूं क्योंकि डिफरेंस निकालते वक्त वो दोनों कट जाएंगे और वो इनका एग्जैक्ट लेंथ मुझे पता भी नहीं. ठीक है, तो वट एवर दे मे बी, एल एंड एल विल कैंसिल आउट. एक्स्ट्रा क्या हो रहा है? नाउ बेयर इन माइंड आई एम ट्राइंग टू फाइंड x1 माइनस x2, मतलब ऑप्टिकल पाथ लेंथ ऑफ द अपर रे माइनस ऑप्टिकल पाथ लेंथ ऑफ द लोअर रे. तो x1 के लिए इफ आई एनालाइज इट्स पाथ वंस मोर, इन एडिशन टू वट एवर इज हैपनिंग ज्योमेट्रिकली, यहाँ पे देयर इज अ रिफ्लेक्शन. Okay, यहाँ पे there's a reflection. Think carefully what reflection it is. It is light to glass. Mu equal to 1 से mu equal to 3. It's light trying to go from a rarer medium to a denser medium. Rarer to denser. Imagine light string to heavy string. Heavy को एक wall की तरह कर दो, तो light string to a wall inversion होता है ना? So like that you can backtrack and try to recollect rarer से denser में inversion होता है या नहीं. क्या किया मैंने? rarer से denser को मैंने light to heavy string कर दिया, heavy string को बहुत ही heavy करके wall बना दिया, और हमें पता ही है कि wall में inversion होता है for the reflected wave. So इस case में our reflected wave is indeed going to get inverted. Rarer to denser is going to get inverted. Because it gets inverted, what we can do is, in addition to whatever it was doing, ऐसा ये green जो भी geometrical length है, in addition to that, I'm going to add a lambda by 2. I'm going to add a lambda by 2 because it got inverted over there. ठीक है? It's as if at that point reflection के कारण वो extra lambda by 2 चला. तुम lambda by 2 add कर सकते हो या subtract कर सकते हो, फर्क पड़ेगा नहीं. But extra lambda by 2 चल रहा है. अच्छा, why lambda by 2? Because there's a phase inversion. I hope you understand that if you add lambda, it makes no difference. See, let's say the wave reaching over there was like this. We are claiming it suddenly got inverted. So isn't getting inverted similar to traveling lambda by 2 distance ahead? है ना? Getting inverted is similar to traveling lambda by 2 distance extra. इसलिए हम उसके path length में lambda by 2 जोड़ रहे हैं. From a phase perspective, उसकी optical path length में हम lambda by 2 extra जोड़ रहे हैं. या तुम कम भी कर सकते हो, lambda by 2 subtract भी कर सकते हो. But it has to be lambda by 2 for an inversion. Lambda by 2 is like half of your period. Okay? नहीं, एक मिनट. अच्छा, one of you saying, sir, distance from surface to P is lambda by 2. Absolutely not. यार ये जो distance है ना, ये distance दिया नहीं है मुझे, unimportant है. तुम चाहिए तो उस distance को L बोल दो. ठीक है? The distance in air that you see, उसको L बोल दो. वो दोनों के लिए common है. तो यहाँ पे दोनों के लिए जब तुम subtract करोगे ना, path difference निकालोगे, तो वो L और L कट जाएगा. That's why I'm not writing that length. Okay, the amount that they travel in vacuum is the same for the first ray and the second ray. ये जो है ना, ये amount दोनों के लिए सेम है, तो डिफरेंस निकालते वक्त वो लेंस कट जाएगा. ओके, लैम्बडा बाय 2 क्या है वो एक बार वापस सुनो ध्यान से. that has to do, it's not there in the diagram. Lambda by 2 is not there in the diagram, इसलिए हमें एक्स्ट्रा लिखना पड़ रहा है. Lambda by 2 is not visible geometrically. It's just the point. एक point पे reflection हो रहा है. It's not visible geometrically. It's not traveling lambda by 2 distance. ये optically extra lambda by 2 distance की तरह हो रहा है. Did you get क्यों हो रहा है? At that point there is a sudden inversion. Okay, instantaneous inversion है. Geometrically नहीं दिखा है, इसलिए हमें वो lambda by 2 और जोड़ना पड़ता है. Okay, so it does not move in reality. It's just at that one point. ठीक है, वहीं पे इंसिडेंट था, वहीं पे रिफ्लेक्ट हुआ. बट द पॉइंट इज इट गॉट इन्वर्टेड. सो ऑप्टिकली स्पीकिंग इट्स एज इफ it traveled an extra lambda by 2 distance. So whenever, simple सी बात है. Now my conclusion over here, whenever light goes from a rarer medium to a denser medium, okay, you can consider an extra path difference of lambda by 2. You can add or subtract this lambda by 2 from the reflected ray. So ये जो ray है, इसके path length में, if you see it getting reflected from a denser medium, उसके path length में lambda by 2 जोड़ दो. मैंने lambda by 2 जोड़ दिया. ठीक है, fair enough. दूसरे रे का path length में ये वाला path हम anyways cancel कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि ऊपर वाले path में उतना वो length common था, तो वो तो cancel कर रहे हैं. but दूसरा वाला path में इसके अलावा क्या हो रहा है? So the second ray, इसके अलावा वो कुछ distance इस glass के अंदर, ग्लास स्लैब के अंदर मूव कर रहा है. अच्छा, कितना डिस्टेंस मूव कर रहा है? सो द ग्लास स्लैब का थिकनेस इज T. यू मे थिंक इट्स मूविंग T, बट नोटिस कि इट्स गोइंग T डिस्टेंस अहेड, टचिंग दैट वॉल एंड कमिंग बैक t distance behind, so it's traveling a total of 2t distance inside the glass slab, right? आगे जाके लौट रहा है वो, so it's traveling 2t distance inside the glass slab. But traveling 2t distance inside the glass slab is equivalent to traveling mu times 2t distance in vacuum. 2t is just what is geometrically traveling. Optically कितना चल रहा है? Mu 2t चल रहा है, right? है ना? It's like I'm running 2 meters in water, but effectively that's as good as 400 meters on land, right? So ये conversion factor है. 2t चल रहा है slab के अंदर, but with respect to vacuum वो कितना हो गया? Mu 2t चल रहा है. अच्छा, तो एक तो mu 2t चल रहा है, on top of that यहाँ पे reflect भी हो रहा है. Should I add a lambda by 2 for this reflection? Think what kind of reflection it is. Should I add a lambda by 2? Does the second ray get an extra lambda by 2 bonus? No, very nice. So this time it's trying to go from the denser medium to the rarer medium. Very nice. So denser to rarer is like heavy string to light string. Heavy to light. Light को एकदम light करके free end की तरह मान लो. Free end में there is no inversion. Okay, free end में there is no inversion. So therefore, because this is from the denser medium to the rarer medium, यहाँ पे there will be no inversion. And because वहाँ पे there will be no inversion, इसके लिए lambda by 2 नहीं गिना जाएगा. इसके लिए lambda by 2 नहीं गिना जाएगा. तो इसके लिए फिर क्या होगा? In comparison to whatever x1 was doing, ठीक है, ज्योमेट्रिकली इतना पाथ कॉमन था, एक्स्ट्रा पाथ इसने क्या किया? जस्ट टू रिपीट, एक्स्ट्रा पाथ t आगे गया, t पीछे गया. It's traveling twice the thickness of the slab inside the slab because it's going from here to there and then it's coming back. So 2t distance inside the slab, which is as good as mu 2t distance in vacuum, plus 0, nothing for the reflection. Okay, nothing for the reflection. Nothing for the reflection. There is no phase change over here. Okay? There's no phase change over there. I'll just say plus 0 because this is a rarer reflection. Denser to rarer. It's rebounding of the rarer medium. It's like a free end reflection. Okay. Yeah, I'll try writing that. Sorry. Yep. All right, that's it. So these are the part differences. Then we can put in the values and see what kind of interference it is. So as I plug in the values, mu is going to be 3 for the slab. 2 hai, t is 3 lambda. T is 3 lambda. Okay, so when I subtract them, I will get 9 into 2, 18. 18 minus half. Yeah, half minus 18 हो जाएगा minus 17.5 या minus 35 lambda by 2. Okay, minus 35 lambda by 2. And you could really have gotten different answers based on what you would have considered. Like if you would have considered x2 minus x1, you could have probably got 35 lambda by 2. Or, you know, if you would have, instead of taking lambda by 2 for the denser reflection, if you would have taken minus lambda by 2, then your answer could have been 37 lambda by 2. Or you could have also said the answer is as good as lambda by 2. Because what am I saying in this? It makes no difference. It really makes no difference if you add or subtract n lambda from your answer. All these forms are exactly the same. 35 lambda by 2, minus 35 lambda by 2, lambda by 2, yeah, 37 lambda by 2. They're all going to be of the type of some integer 0.5 lambda. n 0.5 lambda के type का होगा. ठीक है, n 0.5 lambda के type का होगा. तुम इससे लैम्डा का मल्टीपल ऐड सब्ट्रैक्ट कर लो, फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा फ्रॉम एन इंटरफेरेंस पर्सपेक्टिव। इसलिए नॉर्मली पाथ डिफरेंस भी डायरेक्ट सवाल होता नहीं है। पाथ डिफरेंस मैं पूछ रहा हूँ एट दिस स्टेज, ताकि हमें एकदम क्लैरिटी आए कैसे चीजें करना है, बट इसके आगे क्वेश्चंस विल बी मेनली ऑन द टाइप ऑफ इंटरफेरेंस। Okay, because what I call as 35 lambda by 2, you could call as minus 35 lambda by 2. Or somebody can simplify all of this and they can subtract 34 lambda by 2. They can subtract 17 lambdas and get lambda by 2, because it's still the same thing. Ultimately, if the path difference is of this type, an odd number by 2 into lambda, if the path difference is of this type, it is going to be destructive interference. That is ultimately what is important. So it's just like when I say ki find the sine of 450 degrees, you what would be the first thing you naturally do rather than working with 450 degrees or 900 degrees? What would you do? तुम वो 450 degrees को उससे तुम 360 subtract करके बोलोगे अच्छा ये तो 90 degrees है. Now it makes sense. Now it makes more sense, right? That's what you would do. 450 degrees का साइन कॉस करने के जगह तुम 450 minus 360 करोगे, right? The way you subtract 360 to make more sense of the angle, and then you realize acha 450 is just like 90 degrees. Sin 90 is 1, sin 450 is 1. वो जो करते हो, even if I say 900 degrees, तुम क्या करोगे? 900 से तुम 360 का डबल 720 सब्ट्रैक्ट करोगे, है ना? 900 माइनस 720 करोगे 180 रह जाएगा, फिर समझ में आएगा अच्छा ये 180 डिग्रीज है, ये तो सिंपल है, राइट? सो जस्ट लाइक फॉर एन एंगल, adding or subtracting 360 degrees doesn't make a big difference. वैसा ही for your path length, adding or subtracting lambda makes no difference. Okay. Gaurav, I hope I clear that. Path difference will not, we're not talking about when it will change. You do anything else, it will change. और कुछ भी अतरंगी ऐड कर लो, चेंज होगा. चेंज कब नहीं होगा? जब प्योर 360 डिग्रीज ऐड या सब्ट्रैक्ट करोगे. इस केस में, पाथ के केस में प्योर लैम्डा ऐड सब्ट्रैक्ट कर लो, चेंज नहीं होगा. ओके, सो corresponding to this, my phase difference corresponding to this answer, my phase difference comes out to be k delta x, 2 pi by lambda delta x, 2 pi by lambda into, I'm working with lambda by 2. You can work with minus 35 lambda by 2 as well. But 2 pi by lambda into lambda by 2 is basically pi. So I know ki my interference is destructive. Had you worked with this answer, you would have gotten minus 35 pi. As it is, it's an odd multiple of pi. Odd multiples of pi lead to destructive interference, because all odd multiples of pi are as good as pi. 3 pi, 5 pi, 7 pi, they're all the same as pi, है ना? In fact, on that note, यहाँ पे वो भी लिखा है, it makes no difference if you add, subtract, and if you add, subtract 360 degrees or any multiple of 360 degrees, add, subtract कर लो to the angle, it makes no difference. These are things you anyways know. Just repeating it over here. 900 degrees पसंद नहीं है, लाइफ थोड़ा आसान कर लो, सब्ट्रैक्ट कर लो, 360 सब्ट्रैक्ट करते जाओ till you get something simple. 900 पसंद नहीं है, 360 सब्ट्रैक्ट कर लिया, वो करने में क्या आ गया? 540. अभी भी पसंद नहीं है, वापस 360 सब्ट्रैक्ट कर लो, वो करने के बाद आ गया 180. अच्छा, ओके, दिस मेक्स सेंस. समथिंग लाइक दैट. If you wish, you could add or subtract multiples of 2 pi. I'm not saying you absolutely have to do that. I mean, if you can look at this and say, okay, that's destructive, no problem. Yeah? I'm just saying, if you want, you can add or subtract. And because people sometimes do that, purely phase path difference निकालो, ऐसा सवाल नहीं होता है, as it's not that common, because there are different ways we can visualize path difference. But is the interference constructed destructive? That's the ultimate question. And whichever way you look at your path difference, you should always get the same answer if you're doing the correct thing. Okay. So this was a demonstration. I'll give you an easier question. You can try it out. Yeah, yeah. Let me know when you're done. Sorry. Can I zoom? Is this? I hope this is clearer. What do the first two lines of the page mean? First two lines of the page means there is no transmitted wave has no phase change. Transmitted wave में phase change नहीं होता. I mean that's such a relief ना. ये यहाँ पे ये जब ट्रांसमिट हो रहा है उसके बाद वहां पे कुछ सोचना नहीं पड़ता. So you don't even have to think of it. Transmitted wave के लिए no phase change. There's only one case where there is a phase change, and that's when light reflects from a denser medium. That's where there is a phase change. Okay. Cool. तो एक alright, just try one simple question first. Yes, yes, yes. हाँ एक मिनट गौरव. Quickly finish this. कोई पूछा था थिकनेस वगैरह सवाल में. ऑफ कोर्स थिकनेस सवाल में देंगे बिकॉज आंसर थिकनेस पे डिपेंड करता है ना. पाथ डिफरेंस तो थिकनेस ऑफ द स्लैब पे डिपेंड करता है तो दिया जाएगा. ठीक है. whoever brought me here, when you're done let me know. Okay, let me just upload this as well. थोड़ा चेंज किया. ओके चलो ये क्वेश्चन कर लो जल्दी से. फाइंड द टाइप ऑफ इंटरफियरेंस at O. S is the source, O is the observer. सामने एक मिरर है. सोचो किस टाइप का इंटरफेरेंस O पे होगा. Question means there's a source over here. There's a source of light. S is the source, O is the observer. तो O पे मुझे देखना है किस टाइप का इंटरफेरेंस हो रहा है. एक ही सोर्स है. एक मिरर है, तुम सोचो क्यों इंटरफियरेंस होगा, है ना, इंटरफियरेंस के लिए देयर हैज टू बी टू रेज, तो यू थिंक किस तरीके से दो अलग पाथ लेंथ के कारण इंटरफियरेंस आ रहा है। सानिका, दैट्स करेक्ट। प्रत्याशा, जस्ट चेक वंस मोर। Gaurav, that's correct. Atharva, that's correct. Very nice. Simple. Just one more minute for the others as well. यश, सही है। Okay. Light, why is there interference in the first place? Because light is reaching O through two paths actually. एक directly पहुंच रहा है and दूसरा rebound होके हो रहा है। तो the answer is, आंसर देख लो क्या है। So the answer is, unfortunately, it's a destructive interference. For those who said constructive, it's actually a destructive interference. This is where it makes a difference. देखो, light जो डायरेक्टली पहुंच रहा है उसका पाथ लेंथ लैम्डा है, और लाइट जब रीबाउंड होके आ रहा है, यू कैन कैलकुलेट एंड सी कि उसका पाथ लेंथ लैम्डा प्लस लौटने के लिए एक और लैम्डा, 3 लैम्डा होगा। फेयर इनफ। सो ज्योमेट्रिकली देयर इज ऑलरेडी अ डिफरेंस। ज्योमेट्रिकली द अपर रे, ठीक है, जो मैंने हाईलाइट किया उसको अपर वाला बोल रहा हूं, तो ज्योमेट्रिकली द अपर रे इज ऑलरेडी ट्रैवलिंग 2 लैम्डा डिस्टेंस एक्स्ट्रा। बट ऑप्टिकली क्या हो रहा है? So there's an inversion over here. ठीक है? Because of this sudden inversion, you can consider reflection from the mirror to be like a denser medium. Because anyways, vacuum is the rarest of all mediums. Okay? But you can always consider the mirror to be a denser medium. It's like saying, see, we know no light is going to go past the mirror. There is no transmission. In the case of a mirror, there's no transmission, there's just reflection. Even in the case of a light string and a very, very heavy string, there is no transmission. है ना? क्यों यार, कहाँ से ये लाइट स्ट्रिंग का ऑसिलेशन हेवी स्ट्रिंग को ऑसिलेट कराना स्टार्ट करेगा? So the heavy string behaves almost like a wall, like a fixed wall. So when there is no transmission, it's like a fixed end. It's as though it's reflection. It's like reflection from a very heavy medium or a very dense medium. So a mirror can be imagined to be like a very, very heavy medium, a very dense medium. Okay? So whenever you have, whenever you have reflection from a mirror, it's like reflection from a denser medium. And of course, vacuum itself is the rarest of all media. So you can, therefore, here you will have to incorporate a sudden inversion, which implies that you'll either add or subtract lambda by 2 to this ray's path length. Okay, you can either add or subtract. I'm going with addition. So this ray's path length therefore becomes 3 lambda plus lambda by 2. Niche wala ray's path length becomes lambda. So the difference becomes 2 lambda plus lambda by 2. So the difference is 2.5 lambda. वो एक्स्ट्रा 0.5 लैम्डा के कारण बहुत फर्क पड़ रहा है। वो इन्वर्जन के कारण this is now of the type n.5 lambda, which is not an integral multiple of lambda. It's exactly between that. This is therefore going to be destructive. This is going to imply destructive interference at O. Got it? Now, this question I had actually given before in sound. The same question for sound was asked on page 31 in the sound chapter. And just I want you to note later how the answer over there was constructive interference, because unlike light, sound doesn't get inverted during reflection from a wall. Unlike light, sound doesn't get inverted during reflection from a wall. यहाँ पे phase difference 2 lambda था, geometrically 3 lambda minus lambda, phase path difference 2 lambda था, जिसके कारण constructive interference हो रहा था. But in the case that was sound के लिए, but in the case of wave optics, light जब एक mirror के through reflect होगा, mirror से reflect होगा, it's gonna get inverted, and therefore you'll have to add lambda by 2, and that lambda by 2 makes a lot of difference. उसके कारण destructive interference हो रहा है. समझ में आया? ये साउंड के लिए था, सेम क्वेश्चन था, बिल्कुल सेम क्वेश्चन, बस उसमें there was no extra phase change, because in this phase at stress, sound does not undergo this kind of phase change. Great. Okay. All right. So I hope you got an idea. There's one more question, but that question is also going to be very similar. So I'll encourage you guys to try that once at home. Okay, so that's on page 9. Does anyone still want me to wait on this page? Yeah, okay, I'll wait. Let me know when you're done. तब तक डेल्टा एक्स वापस समझा देता हूँ. देखो डेल्टा एक्स अपर रे कितना ज्यादा चल रहा है, अपर रे वॉल को टच करके आ रहा है, वॉल से रिबाउंड होके आ रहा है, तो एक तो ज्योमेट्रिकली 3 लैम्डा चल रहा है, प्लस रिफ्लेक्शन फ्रॉम द वॉल के कारण एक ऐसा एक्स्ट्रा बोनस मिल रहा है, लैम्डा बाय 2. यू गेट अ बोनस इफ यू टच दैट लाइन एंड कम बैक. ऐसा एक्स्ट्रा लैम्डा बाय 2 बोनस मिल रहा है उसको. ये वाला बस लैम्डा डिस्टेंस चल रहा है. So the path difference is 3 lambda plus lambda by 2 for minus lambda. Oop. Yeah. Cool. Well, I said wait, let me know if you're done. This is your homework question. Please try this at home. Very similar idea. Okay? You can try it. हो ही जाएगा easily. Just figure out. Even as you find delta phi, it's more about basically finding whether interference is constructive or destructive. So you can try that at home. Okay? These are small concepts, important concepts, smaller concepts which can be fused together in a bigger question. So 9 is for homework. Okay, page 10. Now here we have a formula which I had mentioned in sound as well. Okay, exact same formula we have seen in sound as well. But let me just repeat that over here and stress it a little bit more. So so first and foremost, we know कि कोई भी wave, कोई भी SHM या कोई भी wave का amplitude behaves like a vector's magnitude. Yes, please copy this. Please copy this. Almost every line on this page is important. Almost. Okay. Please start copying. Now, just to remind you, in SHM we saw, in waves we saw कि amplitude is like magnitude of a vector, and phase difference. Please write. तुम लिखो, I'll keep talking, just write with an open ear. Okay? It's going to take some time for you to write, and then it'll take some more time for me to explain. So we can do it simultaneously. If you feel you can't write and listen at the same time, you could always write later. Then for those guys who want to only listen now, that's why all these notes are up on the drive. So if you want to listen now and write later, you could do that. If you can multitask, by all means, multitask. Okay, just because we have limited time, I'd want to read and explain while you guys are writing. So we know ki amplitude is like magnitude of a vector, and phase difference is like angle between vectors. So then we have this formula for vector addition, and we have used that formula everywhere while adding waves, right? So SHM में use किया है vector addition to find the resultant amplitude. Y coordinate के लिए use किया था in waves on a string. Pressure के लिए use किया था in sound waves. और यहाँ पे light waves में, since our wave equation is described using the electric field के लिए भी ये equation use कर सकता है. Over here, E1, E2 are the electric field amplitudes of the combining waves. Electric field amplitudes of the combining waves. So like one wave will be E1 sine phase, another wave will be E2 sine phase, वैसा. And ERES is the resultant electric field amplitude of the combining waves. Okay? We know कि vector addition formula tells us resultant is A plus B, A square plus B square plus 2AB cos angle is delta phase difference in this case, है ना, का root. तो वो बस वो equation का मैंने square लिया. तो you can see there is no root on the right hand side, but there is a square on the left hand side. So it's the exact same equation. So you can actually write this directly. E resultant square is E1 square plus E2 square plus 2E1 E2 cos delta phase. यही sound में लिखा था, E के जगह वहाँ पे pressure था. Now, whichever waves chapter you go to, you'll always find intensity is proportional to amplitude ka square. It's true for light waves as well. We are not going to look at the exact formula though. In this chapter, you have another chapter in the main syllabus, also which you guys will study, called as electromagnetic waves. That chapter is more about the exact wave as such, and that chapter will give you the formula for intensity in terms of electric field ka amplitude ka square. And there we'll see some more things, the relation between the magnetic field and the electric field, etc. So all of that is reserved for that chapter, and that's absolutely irrelevant for us in this chapter. But over here we'll just use the fact कि like other wave chapters, intensity यहाँ पे भी amplitude के square के proportional है. ठीक है, उस chapter में prove कर लेंगे. यहाँ पे बस ले लो कि बाकी चैप्टर की तरह इधर भी इंटेंसिटी एम्पलीट्यूड स्क्वायर के प्रोपोर्शनल है. इसके लिए ये फॉर्मूले में जिधर भी ई स्क्वायर है, रिप्लेस इट विद द करस्पॉन्डिंग इंटेंसिटी. तो ई रिजल्टेंट का स्क्वायर, नाइस देवेंद्र, ई रिजल्टेंट का स्क्वायर इज आई रिजल्टेंट. Of course, it's proportional, so there'll be some constant, but that constant will cancel out from both sides. So just replace E resultant square with I resultant. That's the shortcut. E1 square to replace with I1. E2 square को replace with I2, and E1 E2 को replace with root I1 root I2. Then that's it. You have your intensity का formula. Alright, so even if you don't directly remember the intensity formula, it's very easy to get it. Just write vector addition से electric field का formula लिख लो, resultant electric field का, वहां से resultant intensity का आ जाएगा. हर E term को root I से replace कर लो, काम हो जाएगा. Now यही फॉर्मूला मैंने तुम्हें वेव्स में भी दिया, साउंड में भी दिया था. अब इसमें एक और स्पेशल केस देखते हैं कि अगर I1 I2 बराबर है, and I believe थोड़ा ये डिस्कस हुआ on Wednesday as well, towards the end of that doubt session we had, कि if I1 I2 are equal, if you missed that, no worries, यहाँ पे मैं कवर कर रहा हूँ. If I1 I2 are equal and let's say their value is I0, then what is going to happen? I resultant is going to be I1 plus I2. I1 I2 का वैल्यू I0 है, तो आई नॉट प्लस आई नॉट 2 आई नॉट हो जाएगा। फिर आगे देखो क्या है, फिर आगे है 2 इंटू रूट आई वन आई टू। तो आई वन आई टू को आई नॉट से रिप्लेस करोगे तो आई नॉट रूट आई नॉट स्क्वायर which will give you just I naught. So this is what I get if I replace I1 and I2 both with I naught. Simplify this further. Okay. Achha, by the way, what does this mean? This means both the waves combining are of the same intensity, which is a common case. दोनों waves का intensity same रखा है, amplitude same रखा है. इसमें देखो इसको इस केस में कैसा रिजल्ट आता है, 2 I naught कॉमन ले लो, so I'm left with 1 plus cos delta phase. 1 plus cos delta phase. Now again I've condensed this by one step. I'm sure you guys can follow. मैंने cos delta phase directly नहीं लिखा, but I've used the half angle formula. Cos delta phase के लिए लिखा 2 cos square delta phase by 2 minus 1. Cos theta की जगह 2 cos square theta by 2 minus 1. वो use किया मैंने. So 1 plus 2 cos square delta phase by 2 minus 1. And as I do that, you can see how this minus 1 and the previous plus 1, those two will cancel out. The minus 1 and the 1 will cancel out, leaving you with 2 into 2, 4 I naught cos square delta phase by 2. 4 I naught cos square delta phase by 2. Okay, so that's an important result. I would suggest memorize this result. Sure, you can derive it. In fact, know how to derive it as well, because there could come a time where you forget it by chance. All right, so if you forget it, please, you should know how to derive it. ठीक है, तो डेरिवेशन भी जब भी रिवाइज करोगे एक बार खुद से डिराइव करना, यहाँ से यहाँ डिराइव करके देख लो अपने सेटिस्फैक्शन के लिए. But on top of that, try to remember it as well. Okay, this tells us कि when these two waves combine, two waves of the same intensity combine, the max intensity I can get out of the two of them is 4 I naught, because cos square ka max value is 1. So the max I can get is 4 I naught, which I'll talk in a bit, and the minimum I can get is 0. Max I can get is 4 I naught if the two are equal, and the minimum I can get if the two are equal is 0. We can completely cancel out. Okay, so that's the max and minimum possible intensity. Talking about the max and minimum possible intensity in general, like how do we understand that case? Constructive interference जब होगा तब आउटकम सबसे बड़ा होना चाहिए. आउटकम को सबसे बड़ा होने के लिए cos delta phase को अपना largest value होना चाहिए, and cos delta phase का largest value is 1. So put cos delta phase as 1. When you do that, what is left is E resultant square is E1 square plus E2 square plus 2 E1 E2. Okay, E resultant square is E1 square plus E2 square plus 2 E1 E2. So E resultant is therefore E1 plus E2. Logical सा चीज है ना? What is the max resultant you can get from two vectors? Sum of magnitudes A plus B when they are in the same direction. तो ये उसी का application है. E max is E1 plus E2. The max amplitude I can get is when crest and crest combine together in phase. तब E1 plus E2 max amplitude E1 plus E2 हो जाएगा. वो रिलेशन तुम सोच के लिख सकते हो. वो जैसे ही तुमने लिख लिया, उस E को रूट आई से रिप्लेस कर लो तो करस्पॉन्डिंगली इंटेंसिटी का इक्वेशन आ जाएगा, which is actually the solution of that equation. वहां पे actually its I resultant is root I1 plus root I2 का whole square. तो वहां से also you can get, but I think it's easier to just look at E max being E1 plus E2 and replace E with root I. CI मतलब constructive interference. I'll be using this throughout this chapter. CI is constructive interference. DI is destructive interference. Okay. Constructive interference में सबसे बड़ा आंसर, max possible answer. अच्छा, E is root I, तो ये result आ गया, and you can see कि if I1 and I2 are the same, तो उसी से 4 I naught आ जाता है. उसी से आंसर 4 I naught आ जाता है. ठीक है. Destructive interference के लिए what you need to do is cos delta phase is -1. Okay, so replace cos delta phase with its smallest value, and you anyways know this कि when you subtract vectors, sorry, when you add vectors, the minimum output you can get while combining vectors is the difference in magnitudes, right? Because if the vectors happen to be at 180 degrees with each other, there's going to be a lot of cancelling out. तब सबसे छोटा आंसर आएगा, मतलब smallest possible outcome can be when there's maximum cancelling out, maximum destruction, smallest possible answer can be difference of magnitudes. तो यहाँ पे भी वैसे ही आंसर आ रहा है, difference of E1 and E2. Mod E1 minus E2 is the smallest magnitude, and you can replace E with root I, so you get root minimum intensity is root I1 minus root I2. So you can think from EK perspective and just replace E with root I. And in the special case where both intensities are the same, minimum intensity is 0. और ये logical सा चीज है, क्योंकि if intensities are the same, the amplitudes are the same. If the amplitudes are the same, minimum output will be 0. Minimum outcome will be 0. E1 and E2 will cancel out, and therefore minimum intensity will be 0. Whereas if I1 and I2 are the same, and you talk about the max outcome, so max, if I1, I2 or I0, max outcome will be E0 plus E0 to E0. And because intensity electric field के square के proportional है, तो वहां से आएगा I max is 4 E0 square या 4 I0. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Simple सी बात है यार. mod, हाँ, mod just to keep this positive डाला है, मतलब it's basically bigger minus smaller. The minimum possible intensity, just to keep it positive, वो mod डाला है. Okay. If you by default keep this as the bigger one, you don't need to worry about the mod. Okay, let's see this in the context of a question. I'm assuming everyone is done writing this. Great. तो ऐसा एक क्वेश्चन देख लो. Two light waves interfere at a point. Two light waves interfere at a point. If the ratio of the maximum and minimum possible intensities are 16:1, then find the ratio of the intensities of the two waves. ठीक है. Four, नहीं, 4:1 isn't correct. Ratios of the intensities of the two waves. Max and minimum intensities का ratio दिया है. तो ओरिजिनल इंटेंसिटीज का रेशियो चाहिए। Just look at the formula over here for I max and I min. एक बार वो नोट कर लो, देखो क्या है। I'll wait. That's the formula you have to use though. पूर्णा सही है, तन्मय सही है, और 289 by 225 is wrong. सॉन्टी सही है। आई मैक्स रूट आई वन प्लस रूट आई टू नहीं होता है, रूट ऑफ आई मैक्स रूट आई वन प्लस रूट आई टू होता है। 5/9 is wrong unless that's a typing mistake. Sanika, that's right. So 9/5 is also wrong. Prithvi, you're close, but that's not the ratio of intensities. That's not the ratio of the intensities. That's the ratio of दिशा सही है और यश भी सही है। Okay, so basically ये फॉर्मूला एक तो आई थिंक जिसने 280 जिसका 289 आया था ना, आई थिंक यू हैड टेकन आई मैक्स एज रूट आई वन प्लस रूट आई टू। डायमेंशंस का सोचो, दैट डजंट मेक सेंस डायमेंशनली। रूट ऑफ इंटेंसिटी इज रूट ऑफ इंटेंसिटी प्लस रूट ऑफ इंटेंसिटी, that makes sense. The root of I max is root of I1 plus root of I2. Okay. And root of I min is root of I1 minus root of I2. आता कहां से है? Electric field max, E max is E1 plus E2. E min is E1 minus E2. Let one be the bigger intensity. So E min is E1 minus E2. E के जगह root I डाल दो. It's very easy to get these formulas. E is direct vector addition and E के जगह root I डाल दो तो intensity का formula आ जाएगा. So now substituting the fact कि intensities का ratio is 16:1. So root I max by root I min is root of 16:1. So it's 4/1. Okay. So that makes root I1 plus root I2 upon root I1 minus root I2 4/1. इसके आगे simple just either you can cross multiply these terms and get root I1 by root I2, cross multiply कर लो, या मैंने यहाँ पे कॉम्पोनेंटो डिविडेंडो कर लिया है, तो n न्यूमरेटर by डिनोमिनेटर की जगह न्यूमरेटर प्लस डिनोमिनेटर अपॉन न्यूमरेटर माइनस डिनोमिनेटर ऑन बोथ साइड्स किया है, कॉम्पोनेंटो डिविडेंडो किया है। कॉम्पोनेंटो डिविडेंडो हो जाएगा 4 + 1 5 अपॉन 4 - 1 3. For the LHS it will become root I1, देखो root I2 कटेगा कॉम्पोनेंटो में, 2 root I1 हो जाएगा, डिविडेंडो के लिए सब्ट्रैक्ट करते हुए I1 कट जाएगा, 2 root I2 हो जाएगा. So when you perform numerator plus denominator for numerator minus denominator, this is what you get. You can of course you could have cross multiplied this, you would have taken one step extra. Either way, a very simple equation. So this point forward, you get root I1 by root I2 as 5/3, and then remember to square that. Again, another of you gave 5/3 as the answer. That was the ratio between the electric fields. इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड्स का रेशियो 4:1 है, ई मैक्स और ई मिन का रेशियो 4:1 है, और वहां से E1 एंड E2 का रेशियो 5 और 3 है. I1 I2 का रेशियो उसका स्क्वायर होएगा, तो 25/3. 9 is the ratio of the intensities. यहाँ पे रूट है ना, स्क्वायर करना है. So 25 by 9 is the ratio of the intensities. Got it? I hope the others got their mistake. Okay. Always, if you yes. So in fact, Gaurav, वैसा मैं वैसा करता हूँ. I mean, I don't normally memorize these results. If you memorize them, good for you, है ना? That's all well and good. ऐसा जैसे मैंने इधर solve किया वैसे कर लोगे. But yes, I mean the way I would do this question if I'm seeing the chapter after a long time, I see intensities are 16:1. So I'll say E max by E min. No problem. है ना? So I see intensity 16:1, तो वैसे ही करूंगा. E max by E min में 4:1 करूंगा. And E max को E1 plus E2. Same story. E min को E1 minus E2. And उसको solve करके मुझे E1 by E2 5/3 आएगा. और उसको स्क्वायर करके 25/9 आएगा. So it's exactly the same. ठीक है? If you're working with electric field, that's also good. I mean, you're actually understanding and doing things rather than using a formula. That's fine, whichever way you do it. ये जो रूट आई टर्म है वही इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड के बराबर है लगभग. ये जो रेशियो है वो E1 by E2 है, और ये जो रेशियो है ये E max by E min है. जिधर भी रूट I1 रूट I2 दिख रहा है, you can replace that with E1 E2. If you forget things, it makes sense to convert things to the ratio of electric field and then find E1 E2, and then वहां से find the ratio of I1 I2. That makes sense if you have forgotten the formula, or if you don't feel like deriving the formula. Derive करने में भी एक दो लाइन का ही खेल है. E max लिख लिया E1 plus E2, तो वहीं पे लिख सकते हो root I max is root I1 plus root I2. So it's all same level of difficulty. Okay, cool. So great. I mean, you guys got that. There's one more sum for you guys to try. I would say you try this at home. ये purely formula based है. I'll read it out once. Find I resultant when two waves each of intensity I naught with a path difference of delta x interfere such that delta x is this. So you can see how for different path differences कैसा तुम्हारा intensity 0 से 4 I naught के बीच में कैसे change होगा. So it's all purely formula based, and so of course we can spend this time in class learning something. So try this at home and I will quickly discuss it in the next class. But definitely तुम्हारा इससे ये 4 I naught cos square delta 5/2 formula पे based है. Easily तुम्हारा इससे आंसर इसका आंसर आना चाहिए. Okay, so 9 and 12 are your homeworks. They're on the drive. Look at them and attempt them before the next class. So that gives me a little time to quickly talk about the Young's double slit experiment. Now, this is the main conceptual point of this chapter. Given that there isn't a lot of time before the MT, I'll just point out that in wave optics, Young's double slit, अब तक जो भी हमने किया वो तो पूरा conceptual था, और Young's double slit की एक important सा conceptual चीज है in your advanced syllabus. तो वो भी थोड़ा अच्छे से करेंगे. उसके आगे there is a very basic theoretical thing called as the Huygens principle, also in your advanced syllabus. तो वो एकदम वो बहुत theoretical है, अंत में ही देखेंगे. It's a very simple stuff. Even if you just read, you can understand it. वो एक चीज अंत में देखेंगे. And फिर बाकी you have some portion which is going to be in your main syllabus. Most likely वो तुम्हारे advanced MT में आएगा भी नहीं, but still we have to nonetheless cover that because mains exam भी as such for the majority of students important होता है. majority of the students get their colleges to the mains exam. So वो भी हम देखेंगे, वो मेंस जो मेंस वाला पोर्शन है, बट मेंस वाला पोर्शन उतना कंसेप्चुअल नहीं है. उसमें कुछ कुछ जगह हम देखेंगे भी नहीं फॉर्मूला कहाँ से आया, बस है फॉर्मूला. इट्स गोना बी दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग. The formula comes from a very complicated place, and from the mains perspective just रटने वाली बात हो गई. So you can understand why the advanced syllabus does not like including those in the advanced syllabus. It does not like including things which are too complex to derive. It likes including simple things which could be derived, and then whose derivation they based, they can introduce variations. They don't want to ask formula based questions. Mains is not too ashamed of asking formula based questions. So they have थोड़ा इसके आगे जो YDSE और Huygens के बाद जो रहेगा, there'll be some formula based things. You'll just note the formulas and that's it. It'll just be as simple as a formula type question only. So that's just a little layout of what we have in this chapter. The most, Devin, you'll have to really, I mean, Google. I'm not very sure about, I've lost touch with admissions into how the admission procedure is. You'll have to ask your center managers and Google a little bit to get the best answer. Your center manager should have the answers. So I've kind of lost touch with how the admission procedure works now. But yeah, so coming back to, where was I? So this, ये जो है YDSE, ये बहुत ही अच्छा conceptual चीज है. ये तुम समझ लो और nail down the idea. So I have a slide demonstration over here. Let's quickly have a look at this. So what we're going to do is, let me read this paragraph out once for you guys. एक बार ये paragraph पढ़ते हैं. देखो, when monochromatic light of wavelength lambda is made to pass through two slits at a separation of d. Okay, small d is the separation between the slits. If you can't tell, यहाँ पे है ना दो slits है actually. Yeah, they are small slits. I mean, I'm sure you know a cut. ठीक है, जिसके through light pass होगा आगे. These then fall on a screen a capital D distance away from the slits, and on the screen an interesting pattern is observed. We'll see the pattern soon. So the pattern will be of alternate black and white. I think that language white saying here. Alternate dark and bright bands. Alternate dark and bright bands called fringes. Okay, so alternate dark and bright bands called fringes. Aisa pattern is formed. The fringes are all of equal width, interestingly, and the term fringe width, represented by W, is the distance between two consecutive maximas or two consecutive minimas. So I'll point out all of that through that demonstration. Okay, let's see the demonstration. इसका diagram थोड़ा अलग रहेगा. He is actually drawing the wave fronts. So while I'm showing the light rays, they're actually showing the wave fronts. So that's why it looks a little different. But let's focus on what is being formed on the screen. So I'm switching this on. Great. All right, so this is being formed on the screen. So if you can now see in this diagram, notice how there are some, you see this is a region of a bright, there's a bright fringe being formed over here. It is formed exactly at the center, okay, exactly opposite the center, exactly opposite the point between the two slits. A bright fringe is formed, and then sometime later एक और थोड़ा distance आगे एक और bright fringe is formed, ठीक है, and so on and so forth. यहाँ पे भी bright fringes are formed, technically more and more should be formed. Just also bear in mind कि यहाँ पे ये थोड़ा एक this is not accurately एक YDSE का demonstration, because when we actually perform our YDSE experiment and we see the calculations we'll make, we'll normally assume this distance to be large, this distance to be relatively small, and even screen में the screen size also relatively small. We don't go to large distances in reality for the approximations we're going to take. Okay, so नहीं the opposite the slit. क्या बोला? Technically one of you saying, sir, technically opposite the slit the shadow or dark fringe should be formed. नहीं, and जो should be formed है वो फिलहाल side में रखो. ठीक है, we are going to see like what is the reason behind all of this. Whatever our mind is probably imagining is not really enough to explain what's really going on. So we're going to work the maths behind the scenes, behind what is going on, and then you'll understand क्यों यहाँ पे bright fringe है and क्यों यहाँ पे dark fringe है. Yes, Yash, I'll be showing those variations as well. So फिलहाल just I wanted to point, I just want to point, don't worry about what's happening towards the end, but notice ki how you have alternate bright and dark fringes. Okay, bright fringes we'll be calling as our maximas, and the dark fringes we'll be calling as our minimas. We are referring to maximum and minimum intensities. And fringe width, if I can highlight that in this diagram. So let's highlight a fringe width. So you can either say the distance between two minimas. Sorry, I'll have to select the pen, and now we're good to go. Yeah, so either the distance between two minimas can be considered as the fringe width, right? Or the distance between two maximas can be considered as the fringe width. They're going to be the same because these are equal. Each band is of equal length. So exactly the distance between the middle of this bright fringe and the middle of that bright fringe is going to give you your fringe width. So this is our W. Now we're going to observe what our fringe width depends upon. Okay, so let me try and change capital D. What is capital D? Capital D is the distance of the screen from the slits. So I'm going to change that, and तुम accordingly मुझे बता दो कि is my fringe width directly proportional to capital D or inversely proportional to capital D. So let's try that out. अब मैंने कैपिटल डी बढ़ा दिया है. क्या लग रहा है? What do you think has happened to our fringe width? Let me show you that. Let me show you the previous fringe width. Think of how the new fringe width would look. Maxima से maxima, है ना? Beach, middle of the bright fringe to the middle of the next bright fringe. ये अपना नया fringe width है. क्या लग रहा है? Fringe width क्या हुआ है? बढ़ गया है. Very nice. Fringe width is directly proportional to D. बढ़ गया है. As I've increased the size, as I've increased the distance from the screen to the as I've increased the distance between the screen and the slits, my fringe width is increased. So fringe width is directly proportional to D. It's directly proportional to D. All right. Let's see another change. Let me try bringing this back to how it was before. थोड़ा पीछे. Should be correct. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'll change the color as well. In fact, थोड़ा आगे लेना पड़ेगा. एक बार इसको एक बार आगे लेके देख लो, खुद से एक बार देख लो कैसा फ्रिंज विथ आगे लेने पे एकदम छोटा होता है ना. सो यहाँ पे when is very close the fringe width is small, when capital D is small fringe width is small, and clearly when capital D is big the fringe width is big. Let's now analyze another effect. Okay, so let's see now the effect of, let's place it somewhere in the middle. Let's see the effect of slit separation. Okay, so let me clear my screen and let's highlight our slit width. Sorry, our fringe width. This is our fringe width W. Okay, and this is currently our slit separation D. Okay, now I'm going to change that. Okay, I'm going to change that. Let's make it big. What do you think has happened? D, छोटा D बढ़ाने पे, slit separation बढ़ाने पे fringe width बढ़ गया या छोटा हो गया? Very nice. So if I tell you it's proportional, like it's either directly proportional or inversely proportional, you will say it's, how is it dependent on small d? It's inversely proportional to small d. Very nice. See, this is our new fringe width. ये fringe width बढ़ गया, d dash बड़ा है d के comparison में, and you can see कि how our new fringe width is actually smaller. Okay, so that tells me कि omega w is inversely proportional to the slit separation. Slit separation बढ़ा दिया. I think I mixed up the words. Slit separation बढ़ाने पे the fringes appear closer and smaller, so fringe width decreases. So fringe width is inversely proportional to the slit separation. Slit separation बढ़ा दिया तो fringe width छोटा हो रहा है, और slit separation छोटा करेंगे तो fringe width बढ़ेगा. Okay, so hope that's clearly visible. Let's see the effect of color. Okay, जिस एक बार इसको एक नॉर्मल वैल्यू पे वापस लेके आता हूँ. इफेक्ट देख लो, वापस मैंने स्लिट सेपरेशन कम किया, क्लियरली विजिबली दिख रहा है कि कैसे फ्रिंज विड्थ बढ़ गया. ओके, लेट्स कीप इट अराउंड दिस. ठीक है, नाउ यू गाइस थिंक, तुम आपस में सोचो रेड और वायलेट में से किसका लैम्डा ज्यादा है. ठीक है, पिक्चर दैट इन योर हेड, because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to the red end, and as I take this to the red end, I want you guys to figure out whether W is directly proportional to lambda or it's inversely proportional to lambda. So let's highlight this as W for green. Okay, this is a fringe width for green. Okay, let's see what happens when I change the color to red. Can you tell क्या हुआ है? For our darker red. See the previous reference values. Yeah, clearly seems like it has increased. So what would you say though? हाँ, intensity थोड़ा affect हो रहा है. Let's not worry about the intensity part. Yeah, let's not worry about the intensity part, but yeah, what would you say about the fringe width? Think, रेड की तरफ जाते वक्त हमने लैम्डा के साथ क्या किया है, फ्रिंज विड्थ के साथ क्या किया है, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली फ्रिंज विड्थ लैम्डा के प्रोपोर्शनल है या इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल है. एक बार मैं वायलेट एंड भी दिखा देता हूँ. Those are your violet bands. थोड़ा और आई थिंक एक्सैजरेट करना पड़ेगा. वायलेट ज्यादा फर्क नहीं दिख रहा है, बट hope this is just enough to prove the point. Okay. Yeah, just about enough. So you can just see how इस केस में fringe width for violet is further lesser than fringe width for green. Gaurav, I'll just show एक बार ये खत्म निपटा देते हैं, then I'll go back to the page. ठीक है? So just one last note, like what do you feel? What is happening? How is fringe width dependent on lambda? Is it directly proportional? Is it inversely proportional? Yash, your answer is correct. The real test is whether you guys know, I mean, do you know which has greater lambda? Does red have greater lambda or does violet have greater lambda? It's quite visible that violet has smaller fringe width and red has greater fringe width. Apurva, you're right. Sanika, you're right. So lambda is greater for red. Red has greater lambda. You have to remember this. Red has greater wavelengths. Violet has smaller wavelength. Visible light में red का almost 700 nanometer होता है and violet का 400 nanometer होता है. Okay, so red का wavelength ज्यादा है, red का fringe width भी ज्यादा है. ठीक है? तो yes, Ayush, that's true. But a different point though. But that's also true. यहाँ पे fringe width is, my bad, directly proportional to lambda. Directly proportional to lambda. Fringe width is directly proportional to lambda. Red has greater lambda than violet, and red also has greater fringe width than violet. Okay, so you can see how fringe width is directly proportional to lambda. For lack of time, we just go back to that page and maybe we'll. When is your next lecture? 5:30, is it? Next lecture 5:30, 5:15 को है. अरे ठीक है. Cool. Then we'll just go back to this page and we'll maybe have to continue this in the next class. But just to not leave you in suspense, fringe width का हम अगले क्लास में जो फॉर्मूला डिराइव करेंगे, that's going to be d lambda by d. Okay, so you guys can always go back and you can check out that site if you ever want to play around and see how these things work, or if you're interested in any of the other experiments the site has, so you can check it out. But this is ultimately the formula we get for fringe width when we derive it, and we just saw how fringe width was proportional to d, proportional to lambda, inversely proportional to slit separation. ठीक है? और ये पेज तुम कॉपी कर लो. Let me just finish off this page, then we can continue from the next page in the next class. So just to finish off this page, what we'll say is, when we do this question, we'll assume that light at the two slits are in phase. Okay, that will be one assumption. ओके तो यहाँ स्लिट पहुंचते पहुंचते कोई फेज डिफरेंस नहीं आ रहा है, दैट विल बी वन अजम्पशन. फेज डिफरेंस अगर उसमें भी आएगा दैट विल बी लाइक अ YDSC वेरिएशन. वो अकॉर्डिंगली हम इनकॉर्पोरेट करेंगे. उसके पहले यहाँ पहुंचने के पहले ही फेज डिफरेंस है तो वो अकॉर्डिंगली इनकॉर्पोरेट करेंगे. बट फिलहाल वी आर मोर फोकस्ड ऑन कि इसके आगे, अब यहाँ तक आते आते कुछ फेज डिफरेंस नहीं था, बट यहाँ से जब लाइट उस पॉइंट तक चला गया, वन पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट ऑन द स्क्रीन, तो वो पॉइंट पे पहुंचते पहुंचते फेज डिफरेंस आ रहा है. Because the two rays are now not of the same length. XL and XU are of visibly different lengths, right? That's why when the light rays from the two slits manage to reach point Y, what are you going to find? You're going to find a path difference. Now, if that path difference is a multiple of lambda, you will get constructive interference. If that path difference is not a multiple of lambda, you'll get destructive interference, right? If it's 0.5 lambda, you get destructive interference. So यहाँ पे तो पाथ डिफरेंस नहीं होता है, इसलिए यहाँ पे हमेशा कंस्ट्रक्टिव इंटरफेरेंस होता है. बट देन एज वी मूव आउट द पाथ डिफरेंस स्टार्ट्स इंक्रीजिंग. ओके एंड अकॉर्डिंगली wherever we get lambda 2 lambda path difference geometrically, वहां पे ब्राइट फ्रिंजेस दिखता है. एंड wherever we get 0.5 lambda 1.5 lambda, वहां पे डार्क फ्रिंजेस दिखता है. So that's what we'll do in the next class. I think it's fair to just stop over here. यहाँ पे at least ये copy कर लो next, so the next class you don't have to copy this. Just copy of these paragraphs. I'll explain this in the next class. थोड़ा brief में इतना बता सकता हूँ कि हम ये D काफी छोटा रखेंगे कैपिटल D के comparison में, unlike what was shown on that animation. Okay, but small d will be typically quite small in comparison to capital D. And when that's the case, what will happen is, because this is so small, जो ये लाइन हॉरिजॉन्टल के साथ बनाता है, हम बोलेंगे रफली XL एंड XU वही लाइन वही एंगल हॉरिजॉन्टल के साथ बनाएगा. जो ये लाइन हॉरिजॉन्टल के साथ एंगल बनाता है वही एंगल XL एंड XU भी अप्रोक्सीमेटली बनाएंगे. दैट इज गोना बी वन approximation before we continue with our derivation in the next class. Okay, so I hope that makes sense as well. Now, if the slit separation is small and the point is far off, then all these lines are more or less making the same angle. Okay, so that makes our calculation easy. So we're going to assume that they all roughly make the same angle. XL horizontal के साथ वही angle theta बनाता है और XU भी horizontal के साथ वही angle theta बनाता है. Since they are meeting at a far off point, it's as if these lines are very close to being parallel. If some lines meet at a far off point, they are quite close to being parallel, and they'll show parallel ray like properties. Matlab they'll make the same angle with the horizontal roughly. If they meet ekdam pass mein, then they are definitely not parallel and they don't make the same angle with the horizontal. Okay, and यहाँ पे this is L and U. L and U. L is lower, U is upper. So as we are going to calculate delta X in the next class, we are going to calculate it as how much the lower ray is traveling minus how much the upper ray is traveling. Okay, so all that for the next class. Cool. Chalo then. We see you. I think you guys have a short break. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.